You're with Lauren Laverne, and I am with Nicky Wyatt and James Dean Bradfield of the Manics. How you doing, guys?
Not too bad. Heidi, hi.
Heidi,
We're warming up slowly.
Good. Welcome to Maida Vale. These studios must be familiar to you. You must have been here before.
Yeah,
on
I think
occasion.
We did a Tommy Vance rock show session in
Come on,
1992.
tell me about the
We did.
Vance.
It was amazing. We did Under My Wheels by Alice Cooper, Nat West. Motorcycle, maybe?
And you love us.
Oh, I hadn't learnt motorcycle, no. It was you love us.
We've done a Jackie Bramble session here as well,
Yeah.
Stephen
Oh,
Max
man.
session. So
Yeah.
kind of
The
it's our
DJ
fifth or sixth
gods.
time.
Well, I feel like by default you're adding me to that canon, and I feel very special. So thank you very much for that. I mean, up there with the Vans, that doesn't happen often. So you're back here, and obviously Rewind the Film's been out for a few weeks now. How have you gauged the reaction to it so far?
Pretty spectacular, really, from a deep kind of personal point of view. You know, I think the kind of feeling and the intimacy for once really translated to people. You know, the sense of of making a gentle, delicate record seemed to get across.
Because we're not the gentlest of of bands.
Well,
kind of thing, so.
you know, I didn't want to be the one to say it, but you have described this album as melancholic. I mean, what was it like when you were making it and you kind of realised that was where it was going and that was where it was going to be?
It did stem from the lyrics, and it kind of obviously, but kind of when I think one of the first lyrics Nick gave me for the record was "Running Out of Fantasy," and it was obvious where the direction was going, and there's no way I could have tried to splurge over it with my kind of Les Paul Gibson. It would have just been incongruous to say the least. And and then they were Rewind the Film itself. Dare I say it is a very brave lyric in terms of introspection and looking at the things that you're losing in your life. So kind of there's no way I could have wailed with my guitar over all that. It would have been a bad policy decision.
No. Well, and also you've got like quite a few of the tracks where you can do a bit of that live to choose from. And I know you're going to play a set with some old songs, some new songs today for us. How did you put the set list together?
It's really difficult because there's only 7 songs, and when you've been around as long as we have,
Yeah, 11 albums now.
It really was tricky. So bit of old, bit of new, and something in between, probably.
Okay. And I mean, this is the new record. Is it probably? I think it's probably your most collaborative album to date. Is that right? I mean, obviously there's a lot of kind of guest vocals, so maybe they're more up front in
terms of other singers, definitely. I mean, obviously we got Caleb on in there, we got Lucy Rose, and we got Richard Orley, and I just had this deep gut feeling that my voice was going to do a lot of these songs justice, because I kind of bellow a bit, as reviewers have said, the burly bellowing of Bradfield.
Rude. So rude.
But I just had, and also there are a song like "Full Lonely Roads" was written in its entirety by Nick. And he kind of tends to write for the female register a bit more. Mm-hmm. So it was just and the decision came from me. So for any manic conspiracy theorists out there,
has there been a bit of a?
I've not been denuded of my guitar and
goodness.
the vocal duties. It came from me.
Okay, I mean, you mentioned the lyrics. Obviously, James saying that the melancholy and thematically very diverse on the records. What was the writing process for the lyrics, Nicky? Has that changed over the years?
Yeah, I think these are kind of my most fully formed set that were written as lyrics, perhaps more than as kind of identikit songs sometimes, which, you fall into that trap. It was just looking in the mirror and reading R.S. Thomas and realising you're 44 and trying to navigate yourself existentially with a bit of socialism chucked in through the morass of modern life.
Okay, well, that sounds like it would have kept you busy for a while. How long did it take?
It did take a while, yeah. I think everyone goes through it. It's not a midlife crisis or anything. It's just a very reflective period when you've absolutely adored being in a band and you've loved the delusion of rock and roll and, all the kind of bits of spite and pettiness you can put into that. But there comes a point where perhaps you have to let it go a bit.
I think also it's an interesting time for music in that people can continue to make music and make great work as they get older in a way that you can't have anticipated, because when I was in a band, which was after your band started in 87 you would never have anticipated probably that you were going to be doing this at 44, so you kind of got no map, I guess, at this point.
No, a lot of our favourite bands growing up, even the Smiths were over in the blink of an eye, really.
Yeah.
Or the Bunnymen, even though they're kind of still going in some respects. But a lot of it was really fast and gone. But I think now, for instance, like the last Nick Cave album is my favourite album he's ever done.
Yeah.
I think it's amazing.
It's quite an exciting time. I mean, there's a scariness to it, but also a freedom if you can actually really embrace it, isn't there?
There is, yeah, but kind of there's a flip side to it, isn't there? I mean, sometimes if I really get into a kind of a new band and I buy their first record, I'm kind of scared to see if they're going to manage to get to their third record.
Yeah.
So there's a flip side to it. I think it's much harder if you're a genuinely amazing band starting out now, and then they're the rules, isn't it? You want to get your third and fifth album because that's when you really kind of realise your potential, or you become the thing you always wanted to be. And I'm just scared that bands haven't got enough money to actually get there now. So whilst it's good for us in a way, it's harder for young bands, definitely.
Okay. Well, listen, thank you so much for coming in to play this session for us today. We can't wait to hear. We're going to be with you live in the big room at midday. But for now, James, Nikki, thank you so much. We'll see you soon.
Thanks.